Everyone, it is 10 a.m. time for the Limestone County Commission meeting. Mr. Administrator, Ms. Administrator, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Samet.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Here.
Commissioner Townsend.
Here.
We have everybody here today. That's great. Commissioner Samet, you'll lead us in our pledge this morning.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Moving on. I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes from March 17th. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Samet, second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimous. Next on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve claims in the amount of $2,447,139.58. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion. Second. Whatever.
We'll go Commissioner Gatlin, first, and then we'll go Commissioner Townsend second. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. We have no conflicts of interest today. As stated in public hearings, we have none. Resolutions and orders. I'll ask for a motion to approve a resolution to change the work session in the commission meeting from Monday, May the 5th to Friday, May the 2nd. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Samet,
Second.
second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimous. Contracts, agreements, and grants. I'll ask for a motion to approve Senior Community Service Employment Program Host Agency Agreement for fiscal year 24. This is no cost to the county and is partnership in this program, participation in this program. To have such a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. To have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Samet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Motion carries unanimous. Next, I'll ask for a motion to approve an agreement with the Department of Examiners of Public Accounts for an audit of federal assistance. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Turner, second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimous. Number 3, I'll ask for a motion to approve a contract with TARCOG to maintain the existing ship program. Do I have such a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Number 4, I'll ask for a motion to approve an awarding of a FY24 COPS Technology and Equipment Grant in the amount of $425,000. Do I have such a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Townsend. To have a second? Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Number 5, I'll ask for a motion to approve a cooperative agreement with TVA to reduce the amount of litter and illegal trash dumping on specific sites on the Wheeler Basin. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. To have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Turner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Number 6, I'll ask for a motion to approve a jail additional contract change order authorization for the chairman. This will be up to $10,000 per change, and I have such a motion for that.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. To have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Samet.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next, I'll ask for a motion to approve an agreement with Morrell Engineering for materials testing for the jail project in the amount of $4,635. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
I'm gonna go Commissioner Gatlin with the first, and then Townsend with the second. All right. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Townsend. Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
You need to give her $20.
$20, I was thinking.
There you
like
go.
50.
Right there. 50. All right. Next on the motion carries unanimous. Next on the agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve an allowance authorization for the jail addition in the amount of $10,163.13. And this is for power and exhaust fan stuff. Do I have such a motion?
Make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Turner. Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next, I'll ask for a motion for the budget revisions listed below. Do I have such a motion? Motion by Commissioner Townsend. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Sammet. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Motion carries unanimous. We have no merchant purchases, no board appointments, award of bids. We have none. Personnel action, as we discussed in the work session, we're going to take all these up in one motion. So I'll ask for a motion to approve Dusty Balcom, to approve to transfer Kenneth Anderson, to place Taylor Long on medical unpaid leave, and approve to hire Monica Hodges as a senior aide, and approved to hire Julie McCurry as a help desk, and approved to promote Susie Duggar from help desk clerk to tag and title clerk, and approved to promote Molly Pack Hamilton from tag and title clerk to senior tag and title clerk. Approved to promote Jennifer Withers, and that would be from revenue clerk to real property appraisal trainee, and then also last will be to hire Nathan Head as an equipment operator 2 in District 3. Do I have such a motion for all of the personnel actions?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin. Commissioner Townsend. Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Turner.
Motion carries unanimous. All right, under merit increases, I'll ask for a motion to approve the merit increases.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Turner. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gatlin. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin. Commissioner Sammet. Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Engineer, Mr. Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got 3 subdivisions for you guys' consideration. Copperfield subdivision, 6th edition. This is a re-subdivision of lot 236. This is a minor for preliminary and final, affecting 2 lots in District 2. Beauchamp Branch subdivision. This is a minor for preliminary and final, creating 2 lots in District 4. This is the one that I spoke to the gentleman about, and he seemed satisfied with our explanations and the plat. Justin Lander subdivision, minor for preliminary and final, creating 2 lots in District 1.
I'll need a motion to approve the 3 subdivisions as submitted by Mr. Massey.
So moved.
Mr. Turner, give me a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Mr. Sammet will go with Darrell, Commissioner. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Motion carries unanimous. Go ahead, Mark. I know you got something else to.
And then we just have the construction paving schedule for the year.
Okay.
So,
All right, so I'll need do we need a motion on second on that?
motion,
Okay.
second on that.
All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve the paving schedule for the 25 years. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll go with Commissioner Sammet for the motion, Commissioner Gatlin for the second. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the vote.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
All right, motion carries unanimous. You got anything else, Mark?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Other business, I'll ask for a motion to approve to sell the 2 items Dodge Nitros on Gov Deals. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next, I'll ask for a motion to approve to remove the following items from inventory. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Gatlin. To have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Townsend. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Gatlin.
Aye.
Commissioner Townsend.
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet.
Aye.
Commissioner Turner.
Motion carries unanimous. Before we go into any further, I'm going to ask Drew's opinion on this under the other business. I know it's been some confusion on this grave thing all the way around. is there, and if are we gonna send off for an AG's opinion? Is that where we're at with this?
There's the one aspect that was discussed was about the road money versus how we're doing the grave digging and animal disposal. That would be one issue that we could ask the Attorney General for an opinion. We might, if we're going to do that, we might also ask for clarification with respect to the two differences in the statutes. Do we truly have unlimited ability to charge, or does that $50 do what it appears to do in the statute, which is lock us into charging $50 if we're going to charge?
And I guess this maybe had to get from an expenditure of the rules or ask a question on how to do this. Would it be fair to say that we would just, the thing that we put into place April the 1st, that was where we were going to charge the $50, and we have not charged anybody yet, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Is there any way, I guess the move forward until we get clarification on these two laws, and we go through this, do we need to amend that to just put on hold until we clarify this to how we want to move forward? Because I think there's some uncertainties with everybody all the way around to how to move forward. You see what I'm saying?
One option, Mr. Chairman, one option that y'all might have is you could suspend the newly adopted policy, the one that was adopted by resolution, and then until such time as the AG came back with a response to an opinion that you also approved that we send. The way to do that through procedure would be to have someone to move to suspend the rules, to add that as an agenda item, and then you would then vote on that agenda item, so that'd be two different votes.
Yeah.
But that is one option. Another option is you could do some lesser version of that, which is you could have the policy keep going and ask for an Attorney General's opinion, or you could set a certain time that we're going to suspend the collection of money and indemnity agreements for X number of days or weeks or months. However, whatever y'all would like to do.
Well, I meant to bring this up in the work session, and we got, when he was talking about it, I was going to bring it up myself, then, Commissioner Turner got to talk about it, and I forgot, if I'd brought it up in the work session, we wouldn't have to go through the expenditure of the rules part of it. But, I just don't want us to get into something that's unclear as far as, it's nothing no worse than doing something to a family that's at this portion of their life, and then all of a sudden we come back. I would hate to, I would hate for us to get into where we charge 9 people over the next correspondence of a few weeks, and then all of a sudden the AGs come back and say that, hey, we can't do this or we can't do that, and then you've got 9 families in the state of in Limestone County who have paid for $50 grave digging that nobody else ever had to or something. You know what I'm saying? As far as I just don't, because to me the two laws one of them, and me and you talked about this, one of them says this and the other one says this, and one of them gives us the authority to charge or not to charge, and one of them says we must charge $50.
Yes, sir.
So if you read one law, it says that you may or may not charge. Well, it doesn't. It don't have one of them don't even have an amount mentioned. It says that you could charge $50 or you could charge $5,000. It's no range and nothing in that. But the other law says you must charge $50.
Yes, sir. Only as to the grave excavation.
Only as to the grave excavation. So.
Mr. Chairman, I'd be willing to be in favor of suspending the $50. I would vote against not going forward with the waivers. I think the idea of us doing work with unlimited liability out there without the waivers is foolish and a bad stewardship of funds. And I think we should have already had a policy implemented on how to collect the waivers put in place. Maybe that was our fault as commissioners for not instructing the administrator to go ahead and set a policy up, but I'd waive the $50, but I'd be hard pressed to say we should do away with starting with the waivers that we voted on.
I thought on one resolution, was it not though, Drew?
Yeah, it was all together. You can't do
one without the other.
You can't do one without the other. I wouldn't think really.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I suppose what you could do is suspend, because it would be another vote, you could suspend part of the policy. For instance, you could suspend the collection of the $50 since there is some doubt as to whether there's a conflict between the constitutional amendment and the statute. That's what I hear kind of y'all debating.
But we've got an issue with the waiver, do we not? I mean, we having some people saying that they not want to sign the waiver?
Well, that
Or
wouldn't,
is-
that wouldn't be a statutory issue. That would be
Okay, but I mean, for us to move forward with that, we've got to have, we're going to have that waiver signed. So what are we going to do? I mean, if you got some saying they're not going to sign it.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at too. I mean, if you deal with for an example, and I'm using hypothetically as examples here. If you have somebody who passes away that's out of that's out of town or whatever, that's
Yes, sir.
and I mean, if we and if you go through this process, and then you can't get anybody to sign the waiver, and the county has to dig the grave anyways because you're I meant to ask you.
No, we don't have to dig the grave.
Well, if
We
it's-
are
if
under
it's
no
a-
obligation to dig a grave for any person in this county. We are not required by law or statute to do so. If somebody else doesn't want to take the liability for damage, then we say no, hire a private contractor, but we will not send it. My crew will not go in a cemetery and dig a hole without a waiver. You can send one of the other guys, you can send somebody from Mark's department, but I'm not doing that. There are plenty of private contractors who will do that work.
He has that option, doesn't he, Drew? I mean, it says may or may not.
You could, well, right now, the policy is that, the policy as passed by the commission is that everyone in the county would get an indemnity agreement with both dead animal burial and the grave openings.
And there's no law at forcing us to do either one. Am I correct? It says we can.
That is
We're
correct.
permitted to do it. We're not required to do it.
That's correct.
If we set a condition to do it, that you've got to do this, we're perfectly within our rights to do so. And if we decided we wanted to charge to bury an animal, we're within our rights to do so at that point in time. But
Yeah, yes, sir. I would say that well, the dead animal burial is different in that there's not a separate statute that deals with that. There's just the constitutional amendment, and it's clear that you can charge or not charge for that. And so the implication is you can charge whatever you'd like if you want to charge, or you cannot charge at all.
or not do it at all.
Or not do it at all, yes, sir. Also, the indemnity agreement, I think, is also, it's reasonable to assume that is also, as in the way of a charge, like, here's part of the deal. You have to sign an indemnity agreement, and the county will do this service that's authorized by the Constitution.
I guess my number one question is today,
Yes, sir.
is with the agreement, who actually needs to sign the agreement? I think that's the question that has been asked to me. Is it significant enough if we go around to all the people that's the caretaker of the cemeteries? Whoever's the cemetery, the chairman of if we go around to that cemetery and say, hey, we'll use Pleasant Point Cemetery, Mr. Downs is the caretaker, whoever, Bob or Billy or whoever it is, and Billy or Bob signs that saying that that's okay for us to go to that cemetery, and the DEM agreement is good for 3 years, right, or 2 years or something?
Mr. Chairman, the way we have it drafted now is 3 years.
Okay.
But as far as who would sign the agreement, it's whoever's directing the county to do the work.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time, if it's a grave to be opened in a cemetery, the person that's over the cemetery has somebody to contact somebody or do through that form of fact. So, I guess that my question is, the agreement needs to be, and that's where I'm hung up, which I don't dig graves. These four guys here dig the graves, but, I have been asked the questions. So my thought process is that we need to go around to the people that are the caretakers of the cemetery, because they would have immunity probably, really. Because it's a group of an agreement of a board, that person at that cemetery would just sign the agreement saying we give y'all permission to dig graves in this cemetery, and that solves it for 3 years on that part. So that agreement could be solved by each person but now if you go out to a farmer and dig an animal, I mean, if the farmer asks you to come out there and dig an animal, all you gotta do is have them sign a piece of paper when they're out there saying, hey, they give you permission to be out here digging the grave. And I mean, I think that solves that issue. So the agreement part could be solved by the people of the cemetery signing it, and the person, when you go out there, if you ever bury one animal for a farmer, next time you go back, you don't have to get it for 3 years. So, I mean, that solves that. But, I mean, I think we can solve the agreement signing through those two. Is that right or wrong?
So setting aside the animal burial.
Yes.
And we're just dealing with the grave opening.
Well, I'm talking about either way. I mean, the agreement is, and Commissioner Turner's, to answer his question and the concern,
I
I
think
mean.
what we started this was we thought, I think the confusion got on is the funeral homes was gonna sign them, which funeral homes don't own any of the cemeteries that
As far as I would think the county would be concerned, is that we just want to make sure whoever's telling us to do the job has authority to do it and is telling us, dig there, and it's okay for you to dig there. And if they make a mistake, then the liability doesn't roll back onto the county. That we are just enacting.
Cemetery, and then they could deal with the individual.
Which, I mean, that's right. Whoever's over the cemetery, should have that. And I don't think any cemetery would have an issue with signing a piece of paper. And I'm going to ask a question to a person in the audience because he's sitting here. Do you think anybody have an issue with that?
Caretakers, I don't think would have a problem.
Okay.
That's something you'd have to take up with them. But from a funeral home standpoint, we have no control over that cemetery. In the city of Athens, when we set up a funeral, we call the city, we give them the name, but the family has to go up there and sign the interment order and pay the city.
Well, so I mean,
Private cemeteries, they have to go to that cemetery office and pay. So my position is the funeral home doesn't get the family to sign the liability because we have no control over the cemetery. The issue comes with the caretaker of the cemetery and that family that has the burial plots out there.
And I'm fine with that. That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Before we get into too much of a back and forth there, I think the question is today, and here's where I would be asking for a suspension of the rules. Now, I guess I can make my rule up here what I would ask. My ask would be that we would suspend the $50 until we get clarification to what we need to do, because we hadn't charged anybody yet. No, I mean, and so when we do that, and then the letter, if you go out to a farm to bury an animal or somebody, you get them to sign it. When they want to sign it, we're done for 3 years with them. And we go around to the caretakers of the cemetery, and if the caretaker or the family, whoever's doing it, or somebody like that, but to me, the person over the cemetery would be the person that would be giving us the authority, because 9 times out of 10 when you dig a grave at a cemetery, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I don't never go out there, but somebody generally meets y'all out there, right?
Tells you this work.
This is where to dig. So I mean, so my thought process is that we would just say, and more or less the agreement is just saying if we hit somebody else's grave, they're not going to come back to us and say, hey, y'all bumped the vault or whatever. We've been in this business a long time, and I mean, we've never really had an issue, period, that I know of. I may be wrong, but I mean, as far as I know, since I've been here, we've never had an issue with somebody's came back and said, hey, we've tore something up. So I don't think that's an issue there, but
we just haven't been sued.
Well, so, I guess the question would be, Drew, would that be a fair statement, the way that we need to get a suspension of the rule for something like that?
To suspend the $50?
To suspend it until we get a clarification from the AG's office of what we need to be doing.
Yes. So I would think that motion would be, when it's made, to motion to suspend the rules, to add to the agenda, approve to suspend the $50 payment until such time as we receive an AG's opinion, and to approve to request an AG's opinion on the issues that we've discussed today.
And I think next meeting we get an opinion. We next meeting or two, we get that worked up to send off. And the only reason I'm saying about the $50 the $50 is no money. It's not really. That's not really worth its time of collecting the money. I'm just saying it's the law. What I'm worried about is there's two laws there. One says we may or may not charge. The other says we must charge $50. Well, then we got one law that says you can't do things on private. You've got a whole bunch of laws working here against us all the way around. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
And we're also going to ask on the funds, what money can be expenditure.
Yes, sir. We can roll all that into one request to the AG.
All right.
those two issues.
So I guess, do I need to ask for a motion to suspend the rules to add an item to the agenda?
One of the commissioners would need to move to suspend the rules.
I'll make a motion.
Second it.
We got a motion and a second to suspend the rules right here. It's got to be a unanimous vote, right?
No, sir,
But it's
majority.
majority. All right, you got a motion by Commissioner Turner to suspend the rules. We got a second by Commissioner Sammet. And now I ask for a vote to suspend the rules to add an item to the agenda.
And we're just adding an item to,
We're adding an item to suspend the $50 till we get a better answer. So, Ellen, please call the vote.
Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Sammet? Commissioner Gatlin? Commissioner Townsend?
All right. That passes unanimous to add an
Now we got
item.
to vote to get rid of it.
All right, the item, and we need to write this down where it's wrote in the rules here. We're going to make a motion. The motion will be to suspend the $50 until we get clarification from the law on how, what, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at?
Yes, sir.
And where we can get the money from and everything.
Yes, sir. From what I understand, the motion would be, although the motion could be anything, what I understand the motion would be is that to approve to suspend the $50 from the resolution concerning the grave excavation until such time as we receive an Attorney General's opinion answering our questions.
That's right.
And also to request an AG's opinion.
That's right.
On
Yeah, you
those
can do
two
that. You can
issues.
go ahead and do that today when we have to come back next meeting with.
Yes, sir, that's what
Just
I
giving you
would say.
authority to request the AG on this.
And the Attorney General will require that from us, yes, sir.
And then as far as the letter, we can put a note in here that the letter will be, if somebody signs the letter from the cemetery or whatever, that takes care for 3 years. And if we're going to a farmer, same way, we get them to, when you go out to the farmer for the first time, you get him to sign the letter until we get all this situated out.
I would prefer we were out of the business altogether, but I'll accept that.
All right. So Drew, I'm gonna get you to read. I'm gonna get Drew to read the motion where we'll know it's in the minutes right. Go ahead, Drew.
To approve to suspend the $50 charge on grave excavations until such time as we receive an Attorney General's opinion addressing the issue concerning the two statutes, and to approve to request an AG's opinion on the two issues discussed today.
Okay. And then the thing with the letters that's just an agreement that the letters are gonna be that way. All right, so I'll ask for a motion to accept what Drew has read to us. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I got a motion from Commissioner Simon, need a second.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Turner. And then I'm gonna call for a vote.
Commissioner Sammet? Commissioner Turner?
Aye.
Commissioner Gatlin? Commissioner Townsend?
Motion carries unanimous, and I want to thank everybody for working through us with that. I know it's been some little clarification issues, but more or less just to get clarification. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to the report of officers. Commissioner Sammet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank everybody for dealing with the tornadoes the other night. I know the crews were all out, and fire departments were out too, helping, but seemed like we've had our share of the tornadoes this year, so between tornadoes and floods, but anyway, everybody's been working good through it and trying to keep the roads open and keep everything going. Also, I'd like to thank Buc-ee's. I don't think we can thank them enough, really. Now, I may do it again, I don't know, but for the money that's going toward organizations here in the county that need help, that need kicked off to keep them going and keep them working well. I know it just sometimes little money helps. I wish we could just pool it all and put it all in one, but because we've got so many. And they do such a good job. But anyway, I want to thank Buc-ee's again. But also on our bridge on Sharp Road, we ought to get it grubbed out this week, Mark, and so you can start calling the people in here if you want to. Like I said, if we get a couple of good days and the water goes down, That's what it all depends on. But anyway, we'll have it ready for them. Hopefully, we'll get that road open here as soon as we can. I know it's been a pain. I know we got another road that's been closed a long time, but as soon as we find the money for it, it'll be fixed. But seems like the state don't believe in money for bridges. So, you know, your road's not worth a nickel if they ain't got a bridge on it. So anyway, I reckon that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. I won't start complaining.
All right. Well, Mr. Lord's perked up when you talked about that bridge where he's got some land over on that road. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good deal. Thank you, Mr. Samet.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Turner.
Well, Danny Barksdale started negotiating last year with Rogers Group about correcting the problem at Newby and Gray Road. And it's been ongoing discussions back and forth. And as of this week, construction will be done on that problem. They are bringing in their paving crew, and that intersection will be corrected and repaired back. So I know it's been a long ongoing thing with Danny started and I followed up on, but it will be completed this week. Short of a national emergency, but as of now, their commitment is it will be done this week.
Good deal.
Thank you, sir. You got anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Commissioner Gatlin,
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman.
you mighty quiet today.
Mighty quiet today.
All right, LaDon, you got 20 minutes. Keep going.
No, I got 20 minutes. I do got a few things, though. On the storms, I want to take a second. I want to thank our fire departments, EMA, the sheriff's department, and all of them that, you know, helped us, well, I don't want to say just this weekend, but a few weeks back. I mean, people that don't know, you know, when we have these storms, I mean, they're all on the telephone. The deputies are out riding around. I mean, it's been, I don't know what we could do without them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, they communicate with me and so we can get these roads back open. I want to thank them for that because, you know, a lot of times they may sit by a tree for 30 to 45 minutes before we can get there. You know, the sheriff's department does, and them guys do what they can to get it out of the road before we get there. So, you know, I want to thank them for that, and I also want to thank all of our telecommunicators because sometimes I think they might get tired of calling me because I think they called me like 6 or 7 times this weekend. And they're like, I'm sorry, LaDon, it's me again. No, it's okay. I tell them every time, no, call me. But they do a good job, and they're always so polite, and, I mean, they just do a great job. And one thing I also want to mention to y'all, all of y'all, and me and Colin talked about this the other day a little bit, our animal shelter and land. Guys, we've got to get on top of this. I mean, we've got to get on top of this land. I mean, you know, the time is getting closer and closer. And I want to get something done here so we can get us an animal shelter that, you know, for the future is what I want to do. So, I mean, I know Colin's got some great ideas and some pretty good locations that he's kind of picked out, but we really need to get on this and get something done. But I want to thank Colin for that because he's really been staying on top of that. And then Buc-ee's, I want to thank Buc-ee's personally for the 2 organizations that I'm going to give money to, which I'm going to take some pictures here in just a few minutes if it ain't pouring down rain. So, but I want to thank them for that money because we couldn't do that without them. I mean, we could not give this money to these nonprofit organizations to, you know, help them. And I'm giving one of mine to the Athens Main Street to help with the tornado recovery around the square, to do something for the public. I don't know if it's chairs, tables, what, I don't know, but I told us to do something over there for the public. And they've got a plan, but I want to give some of my money to that. And then the other one that's sure enough kind of close to my heart is the 4-H program. That one there for the kids, that one I gave to last year, and I'm giving to it again this year. So Floyd Wilson and all of them do a really good job with 4-H. We're helping a lot of these kids to give them something. I like the summer programs that they do because some of these kids, you know, don't have a whole lot to do during the summer. And she gives out some scholarships with that money to help them to pay to go to summer camps and stuff like that. So I think that's good because I think kids need things to do to keep their mind active, and if they're not involved in something that leads to more possibly getting into trouble or whatever. So I like for kids that are interested in that to do that. So that's the 2 organizations that I'm giving to today. But I want to thank Buc-ee's. It's actually changed Limestone County. I mean, Buc-ee's has done a great thing for Limestone County, especially with our gas tax. It's helped us do a lot of things, and this is just another great thing that they've helped us with. So, and I want to thank Mark. And I want to thank Hunter for the pavement schedule. I know a lot of people don't realize how much work they put into that, But, you know, we give them a huge list of roads that we want to do. It's our wish list, kind of like Christmas. You know, we want them all done, and then we have to trim it down to what we can afford because they put a lot of time and effort into getting us prices on what it's going to cost to fix this road. So I want to publicly thank them because they do put a lot of time and work into that to get us where we need to get to we voted on today. So, but other than that, that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Well, you know, I always, it's National Not Give Homework Day. So all your teachers don't give no students no homework today. So National No Homework Day, so I'm encouraging no teachers to give homework to no kids today. So there we go. First of all, I want to start out by thanking, you know, Eddie and EMA and all of our staff and stuff like that. You know, every time the weather comes, they are there, and I know me and Commissioner Gatlin, the sheriff, and all, we were down there all the other night, and it goes way on up into the night, you know, make sure everything, and I know that the telecommunicators, the phone's ringing wide open, you know, them calling, and so I want to thank the telecommunicators, just not only today, but just every day for the job they do. The EMA and our EOC staff and all that, so I want to thank all of them. We went to the Fire Department Banquet Awards dinner the other night. Had a great turnout. I want to thank all the volunteer fire departments for all they do. I know they're a lot of the times they're the first response on people seeing them. So, I mean, I want to thank them for all they do, too. You know, there was a guy, one of the guys over, and Derek, you can correct me on what he does. He's the big guy that's over from Tuscaloosa that does the Fire College. Anyway, he got up and gave an award. They gave an award to a Larry Pilot from Elkmont, which I know he's from my hometown and all, but, you know, Larry has been a part of the volunteer fire department since the first truck they ever had. Him and Fuzz Robinson, Fuzz Anderson, they both got a award. But you know, the preacher got up and he made it. You know, he was a pastor by trade and he works with Fire College. But he was talking. You know, he said people stand around the graveyard and talk about all the great things people's done, but they don't award them when they're alive. And they gave Larry a award, and hey, Larry was crying. You know, to see a 75-year-old man stand up there, or 70, whatever. He's already 70s, but you know, and to see, you know, that is the truth. You know, I know that. I try to thank the staff and all they do every day, but, you know, tell people while they're alive the great job they do, because that goes a long way, telling people what all they do. So thank everybody. And I want to thank everybody for working through this deal with the grave digging issue. I know it's been a little controversial issue, but we're getting it all figured out, and we'll get it all there, and thank everybody for patience with that. And so that being said, we will recess or adjourn until 9 a.m. Monday, April the 21st. Thank everybody for being here.